guys, it's Connie. Welcome back. I have something brand new this week. This is the first ever Lexus TX, and this is a three-row SUV, the third three-row SUV for Lexus. They have 7 SUVs now. Anyway, this is the luxury three-row TX. It's super comfy, it's super big, but it looks amazing. This is Nightfall mica blue, which I think I showed you on the GX recently as well. And I love it, but it does show dirt very easily. It's been drizzly this week, and I just washed it because it was already dirty, even though I've only been driving it for about 4 days, I think. I love what Lexus did with this front grille. It looks nothing like all of the other Lexus front ends. And I don't mean nothing. I mean, it does look similar to other Lexuses, but usually you have this full grill looking grill. And here we have like solid body across the front, and it just looks super unique to me. I think it really sets the TX apart from the other Lexus SUVs. So if you're looking for a full-size three-row, this one is gorgeous. This is the TX 350 all-wheel drive. So in the US, you can get a front-wheel drive. In Canada, the TX is just a standard all-wheel drive across the board. This is the gas version. There's a hybrid coming later this year, and even Toyota or a Lexus First. Sorry, I almost said Toyota. It's a Lexus First plug-in hybrid coming soon for the TX as well, which I can't wait to drive. It's going to be a 6-cylinder plus a plug-in hybrid. I see we have headlamp washers here as well. LEDs, these Lexus headlamps are so Lexus. And this has the executive package on it. So I always spec out the car I have on the Canadian website and the US website. And unfortunately, the packages and trims are all different on the US website. So I don't know what the executive package equals in the US, but I will say a lot of the things that are in the executive package are separate standalone options in the US. So for example, the 21 speaker Mark Levinson sound system, these 21-inch wheels. There's a bunch of things that are part of the Canadian executive package that are separate standalone options in the US. So when we talk about pricing at the end of the video, I'll talk a little bit more about the comparison and the as-spec'd price. But just so you know, this is the TX 350 all-wheel drive with executive package in Canada, which is different than the US. Let's have a look around. I love that we have body color cladding here, so it doesn't look rugged, it looks luxurious. So I think that's going to be the big differentiator between the TX and the GX, is the GX just looks a little more rugged. It's a lot boxier too. These are the executive package 21-inch wheels that I was talking about. They are an additional option in the US. I think they were around $2,000 if I remember correctly from the US website. Again, I talked about this in the GX. This light bar across the back here, I talked about it on the GX as well. It's part of Lexus design language for their SUVs. So you will see this on other SUVs. I believe the UX has it. I believe the NX has it. The RX definitely has it. And I think I'm in the RX next week, hoping to get into the RZ again soon as well, but you'll see that similarity across the Lexus SUV lineup, and I love it. It looks amazing. Third row, lots of room back here behind the third row. Not a lot of underbed storage there, but there is a jack. There must be a spare underneath here as well. I can't actually lift this. And then we have power folding rear third row seats. And let's hop in back there and see how much room we have. Cut. Okay, so not only do we have a button in the back to lift and lower the third row, we also have a button right here to lift and lower the third row, which is convenient. It looks like we have a ton of room back here because these second row seats are on rails, but let's have a look. Okay, yes, actually quite a bit of space. So, I mean, my legs are a little bit off the seat here, but we have two cup holders, USB-C chargers, vents, lights, and these seats are just as soft and plush as the rest of the seating in here. Plus we have trying to see if there's latch. There's definitely tethers because I saw them. Oh yeah, the latch are actually hidden inside the seat, which I really like. Yes, there's two latch back here. So you can have 4 latch connected infant car seats back here. And these seats, these are semi-aniline leather on this executive package trim. Really, really nice with kind of like a suede. And this is the color combo in this package is called peppercorn. So it's not black, it's kind of a brownish color. Okay, we have a ton of luxury in this second row. We have a huge pano sunroof that reaches all the way back here. And again, with these plush semi-aniline leather seats, they're really, really great. And then in the pass-through, so you get a bench seat on the lower trims, but this is, again, the executive package with the captain's chairs. So we have a pass-through, but you can also take this console right out. I'm wondering if you can actually take these cup holders out too. You can. That's actually really convenient for cleaning, but also if you never want to use them as cup holders and you just want this as storage, that's pretty cool. The other thing you get with the executive package is heated and ventilated seats back here in the second row, which is amazing. And then we have tri-zone climate control, which is fantastic. I love the kids having the ability to control their own climate. And then we have 2 USB-C chargers. We also get manual window shades, and then the electronic doors that we saw for the first time on the RX about, I want to say a year and a half ago. These are just like a push button and they open like that. And then they do have a mechanical function if the electronics are not working. You just pull. And it's funny because one of my daughters this week, she's been using that to get out like that all week when I drop her off at school, because for some reason she's just not used to this button thing. But I like the button feature. It's nice, and it's I like the button feature. We have a nice leather wrapped steering wheel, and then we have some haptic buttons here that I know are going to be impossible for you to see because the head-up display is what displays what these do. So it's hard to see. That head-up display is part of the executive package once again. Totally digital driver display and a nice huge touchscreen. This is all part of the new Lexus interface that they introduced a couple years ago when they got rid of the trackpad and everything. I love how big this screen is, but I don't like that the only place for me to change the drive modes is in here in a screen. I want a hard touch button for drive modes. But wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is also part of the executive package, and I love that. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and then just a couple of hard touch buttons, 3 USB-C chargers up here along with a wireless charging pad, and again, removable cup holders, which is really great. This gear shift knob is interesting. It was first introduced on the RX a couple of years ago, but I've gotten used to it really quick. You just tap forward for reverse. Excellent backup camera. So this backup camera again does what the Grand Highlander does, and I showed it to you back when I had that. As you can see, you can actually see underneath the car. So if we were in a parking lot and there was lines, you would see that on this screen. It's wild, and I think it's great. And then, so yeah, really different kind of gear shift knob. I think we have it in the Toyota Prius as well. But it's nice. And then this is the surround view monitor or camera rear view mirror. I really like this feature. Again, part of the executive package. So again, I would probably get the executive package if I were buying this car because there's a lot that is in here that I'm showing you that is part of that package. Oh, and like I said, tri-zone climate. So we have 2 separate climate dials right here. Okay. All right, let's go for a drive. This TX 350 all-wheel drive is the 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 275 horsepower and can tow up to 5,000 pounds. As I mentioned, we're getting a hybrid soon, and a first for Lexus, a plug-in hybrid with a V6. So I'm very curious to get into that one, see what it's like. I always love plug-in hybrids, and I'm curious to see what that one will be like. The drive is comfortable. This is really spacious. These seats are super luxe. And even though it is a big 3-row SUV, which it is, and it doesn't have a super great turning radius because, again, giant, big SUV, but It is easy in parking lots because of the backup cameras and that underground camera. You can see pulling into a spot, you can see pulling out of a spot, backing into a spot. I really love when big SUVs like this have those features because it just makes maneuvering around parking lots and places that you go with kids. And if you have this, you're gonna probably be a parent. So all these places you go, parking lots and grocery stores and schools and pickup lanes and drop off lanes, having those cameras and those systems is really great to have. So what do you think of this new TX? I really love it, and honestly, I don't think it's that pricey for what you get in this. I used to own a 3-row SUV, a Yukon XL, and it was more expensive back in 2016 than this is now. Yes, it might have been a little bit longer, but I love the size of this and all of the features, plus it's an amazing drive. So the TX starts at around 72,000 Canadian dollars and around 55,000 US dollars, but that is the front wheel drive option in the US, and that is the base trim. This one is the all-wheel drive, and it has the executive package in Canada, and in the US, I think that equals somewhere in the premium or luxury plus additional options. So I had a hard time pricing it out on the US website because, again, Lexus Canada and Lexus US just build out their vehicles differently. I wish they wouldn't do that. I don't know why they do that, but this one as spec is just under 83,000 Canadian dollars, and I priced it at around 70,000 US, but I think it might be a little bit more, or I might be a little bit off in the packages and options that I added on. What do you think? What do you think? Is that too much? Is that just right? I mean, I think for an SUV like this, 83,000 Canadian is like, you're gonna pay that for almost any 3-row SUV. I mean, so what do you think? Leave me a question or a comment, and we'll see you soon.